What's going on, everybody? K to the Shoe here with my Week 6 team analysis for the TBU. This week we are going up against the Bristol City Fletchlings. Eric, or Ashton Akai, or whatever he wants to be called. He's a cool guy. His link will be down below in the description. However, we have stuff to get into today, and it's looking over my team. I actually really don't know what he's going to bring against me. He has things like Chansey. Here, I'll just read off his team for you real quick. Chansey, Crawdaunt, Tentacruel, Talonflame, Mienshao, Scizor, Whimsicott, Dusclops, Klutzer, and Mega Audino. Fuck. Mega Audino. Alright, that was much harder to say than it needed to be. So what I am expecting is, I'm expecting Talonflame, and I'm expecting a whole lot of bulk. This last week he actually traded Garchomp for Crawdaunt, so I might be expecting to see that, so that is why I brought the Tangrowth. Tangrowth also deals with Chansey. It doesn't really deal with Chansey, but I can get a Leech Seed. Fuck, I can't talk today, man. I can get a Leech Seed up on it, and I can get back a whole bunch of health every turn he leaves it in. And really the damage that he'd be doing would be negligible at that point. Same with Mega Audino. Fuck, I can't say it. Mega Audino. I'm trying to say it way too fast. So yeah, that's really that. He also has the likes of Mienshao, who really can't touch Tangrowth outside of like Poison Jab, which isn't going to do a whole lot, and U-Turn. Again, not really doing a whole lot. I do realize that he has a Tentacruel that could potentially have the Liquid Ooze, which is why I'm running the Earthquake on here in case he wants to get cheeky and switch that in. I just said cheeky. I feel British. Okay. Again, looking at his team, first thing I thought was, wow, he really does not have a switch into a Thundurus. So I'm going with Choice Scarf, Modest, Max Special Attack, Max Speed. I could probably optimize the speed in order to just outspeed everything that I think he's going to bring. But I don't think the extra added bulk is really going to help out too much. Volt Switch is there because he doesn't have a ground type or an electric immunity, so I can get free switches all day with this. Sludge Wave is there to hit the Mega Audino and the Whimsicott. Psychic hits Tentacruel and Mienshao. It's a good middle ground to hit both of them in case I don't want to predict. And Knockoff is there mainly just for Chansey if he wants to start switching that in. He also does have a few things that he could switch into it, like a Scizor maybe. If it's Assault Vest, I can knock that off. Dusclops will be holding the Violate if he does bring it. So that is Doris for the week. Not really much else to say about it. We'll skip over John Pincina for now. Next up we have a Flame Orb Guts Hariyama. This one is not really a switch in like it was last week, like an offensive pivot like it was last week. This week we are going full on offense. I need as much power as possible in order to take on the likes of Chansey, Dusclops, Mega Audino, Tentacruel. It can kill all four of those. Well, it can kill three of those in one hit, and then Mega Audino at 2 shots with Heavy Slam, so that's the thing. I am running enough speed to outspeed and speed creep a regular bulky Scizor. If he's not running any speed investment, I will be able to outspeed it and hit it with a close combat or a knockoff, whichever one I'm feeling is the flavor of the day. I don't really expect him to bring Klutzer, however, if I do see it, Hariyama will be a very good way to handle it, along with my Thundurus Therian. Both of them will deal with it very well, which is why I don't really expect him to bring it. Knockoff, again, deals with the Chansey's Violate, though Dusclops is a Violate, and really anything else he wants to switch in. Mega Audino is not going to want to take a Heavy Slam. I do realize that I revealed that I went deep into Hariyama's moveset last week, and he would definitely be expecting Heavy Slam on Hariyama, especially after seeing a Flame Orb, and that would be one turn to really go for Earthquake, because if he's going to make the correct play, he would go into Tentacruel to take it, and Tentacruel would just go straight down to a Flame Orb Guts boosted Earthquake. Let's see, what else? Really not a whole lot. His Whimsicott is a free switch into this. Talonflame. Talonflame is a free switch into this, however, if I do have Rocks up, and if he's Choice Banded, or not even just Choice Banded, maybe if he's just Swords Dance. If he comes in on a Rock Switch, and I don't think that he's going to want to go straight for an attack. If he does bring it in on my Hariyama, I would be pretty scared of it, but I do have the free switch in the Slowking, which would tempt him to not go for the Brave Bird. Instead, if he goes for Roost, I can catch that Talonflame off guard, hit it with an Earthquake, and KO it after he tried to get it back up to full, because he wanted to be greedy and take care of my Hariyama early game. So if Hariyama is able to remove Chansey or Mega Audino and get rid of an item on something, I would not be against leaving it in on Talonflame to potentially kill it with an Earthquake. So there's that. Next up we have physically defensive Slowking once again. This one we are actually going Dual Stab and Counter. So instead of Shadow Ball from last week, we have the Psyshock, and instead of... what other move did we have last week? I don't remember, but we're going with Counter this week. Counter is actually very nice against his team. I can live a Choice Banded Scizor's U-turn, fire off a counter, and kill whatever he wants to send in. So if he wants to send in this Chansey, following that U-turn, it's going down. It does enough damage to the point where Slowking is going to... it does about 80%, so unless he gets a crit, which would be mighty unfortunate, but that counter is going to be able to kill Chansey or Mega Audino or whatever he wants to send in. So that's a thing. He also has Mienshao that can go for U-turn, that'll do big damage to whatever wants to switch in. And if his Talonflame wants to start setting up and going for Brave Birds, I have Scald. If he wants to switch in his Tentacruel, I have Psyshock. I can live... actually no, I cannot live a knockoff from Crawdaunt, so that's a thing. But that's why I have my Tangrowth. Other than that, Slowking's just here to be a bulky pivot in order to get into things such as Doris or Excadrill, or specifically Hariyama, because that's going to be our main early to mid-game damage dealer. Next up, I already went over Tangrowth a little bit. The Rock Slide is there for the Talonflame. Talonflame cannot one-shot this Tangrowth, even at +2, I am pretty sure. So if he goes for it, Rock Slide will end up killing the Talonflame, especially after the recoil it takes from Brave Bird. And there really isn't a whole lot he can do to this Tangrowth, especially if I keep switching around between it and Slowking. They both are weak to U-turn, so if he brings a very U-turny team, which he very well could do, I could be in a little bit of trouble, but I do have my own momentum grabber in Thunderous Therian, as it can just Volt Switch around on his team as well. So Tangrowth is here and it's queer and it does things. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. It's just gonna be, these two are gonna be there to be walls. He doesn't really have a whole lot of heavy hitting special attackers outside of Clawitzer, but again, I don't really see Clawitzer being brought. So that's why I'm going full physically defense on both of them. Next up we have Focus Sash Excadrill with Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and Dual Stab. Now, I have the Focus Sash here mainly if he doesn't bring Mienshao, it's going to be my guaranteed lead. Stealth Rock is going to be incredibly crucial against his team. If he brings the Tentacruel and is not running any speed on it, which most don't, I wouldn't expect him to bring speed on it. I can kill with an Earthquake, most likely, and I can keep my rocks up late game, because rocks are going to be very important, because Talonflame does sort of pressure the whole of my team. I do expect him to bring it because I do have Mega Pinsir, but I do have a surprise on Mega Pinsir. Ironhead is here because of Mega Audino, and Whimsicott as well. Whimsicott could be a problem if he wants to go encoring and stuff. So the Focus Sash will be broken mid-game if he gets up his rocks with Chansey, which is his only rock setter. So I would be half expecting him to bring rocks on Chansey, which is why I'm really expecting him to bring Chansey. If he doesn't bring it, then I get free rocks up, and Rapid Spin was just a waste of a move slot. So yeah, that's Excadrill for this week. Not really anything special. The speed is there. Again, if he wants to run max speed Tentacruel, I will outspeed it unless he's running a Timid Nature. Which would be kind of weird, but I don't really think he can kill with a Scald. Not really quite sure, but again, if he has Mienshao, I'm going to expect him to lead with it, and I don't want to take a Fake Out plus a Fighting type move very early in the game, break my Sash, and I don't get my rocks up. That would be very, very bad. Lastly, we have John Pincina. We have Swords Dance, Return, Substitute, and Feint. Now, if I get to +4, as you would expect, I KO everything with Return and Feint. Chansey goes down to +4 Return. Even if it has prior damage on it, it'll die to +2 Return. Talonflame will die to +2 Feint after Stealth Rock switch in. I think Scizor dies to +4 Feint even. It doesn't have too much bulk. It'll die to +4 Feint, especially after rocks. Dusclops, physically defensive with an Eviolite, will die to a Return at +4. Mega Audino in the same boat. Now, I do realize that it would be very hard to get up to +4. However, that is why I'm going to have to really play it by ear. I'm going to have to set up a sub on something that I really think he's going to switch out with. Set up a Sword Stance the following turn, and probably KO whatever he brings in. And then Feint is there. Very important. Feint is a +2 priority, which out-prioritizes Brave Bird from Talonflame. Out-prioritizes Whimsicott's Prankster, which makes all of its moves +1 priority, and it also out-prioritizes Scizor's Bullet Punch. So, and Crawdont's Aqua Jet, if he does indeed bring it. So, Feint is going to be very important. It's 10 less base power than Quick Attack, however, its utility is much farther outweighs its power loss. And that will allow me to keep Mega Pinsir alive. Return is there just because it does massive damage. I don't want Double Edge because that would do a whole lot of damage to me from recoil because of Chansey, and I would probably just go straight down after a Double Edge. That would be very bad. So that is my plan for the week. I cannot put my finger on 6 months that I really think he's going to bring. However, the only one that I can't see him bringing is Clawitzer. I'm sorry, I keep looking down this way because I have my notes here. This is my notes. This is literally my notes. I just wrote down my team and his team. I circled these 4 because I think those 4 are going to be for sure coming, which is Chansey, Tentacruel, Talonflame, and Mega Audino. The last 2 could be really up in the air. So that's really that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has just been my thoughts on my planning, why I brought everything, and that's really all I got for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.